Not really balanced, and if you pay attention specifically, you'll see exactly which chakra needs to be turned up. So when you converse with them, you can use your energy to build a bridge to lift them up higher, instead of being like, oh, they're just so bitter. Because if that's your brother or sister, you want to realize, how can I help lift them up? Instead of, because they're going to impact somebody in your life that you're going to come across in contact with once again. So it's like, we have to be in this together. And it takes a very strong person to do that, so you must be balanced within yourself first. Each chakra has a color, it has a location, it has a gland in the physical body, and it has an element, and they all connect to each other. Going through the first chakra, it's called the Muladhara, that's a Sanskrit name, or it's called the root chakra. And when you think about the root, think about the roots that are coming from a tree. A tree without roots will never stand. Think about that real quick in your mind. So if you have an unbalanced root chakra, second any kind of conflict comes up, you're just shaking. You're losing yourself. You have no grounding from within. And that makes it very difficult, because we're all going to have storms in our life. That's one thing, but it's all about how rooted we are to handle these storms, to keep us grounded, knowing that whatever happens out here is never going to shake me, starting from within. And the color of that is red. Okay, that's the vibration. It's a very low frequency. The location is at the base of your spine. The element is earth. It deals with the material aspect, the physicality of things, the solidity of life. So it's the material world of things. When you're overbalanced, you might be over more materialistic, and if you're underbalanced, you don't really have any material things at all. Okay, some of the characteristics is your anger. When you get that fight or flight response, that is because you're getting that anger and fear, and that's the gland is connected to as well, which is on top of your kidneys. It's called the adrenal glands. And usually when someone's high stress, anger all the time, that's going to leave them unbalanced. Those are the ones that are always complaining to you on a regular basis. And if you realize and see your own personal characteristics, you'll see which chakra, if that's pertaining to you, in the root chakra. So going from the root chakra, we're going to rise on up to our sacral chakra, or the Swadhisthana chakra. And the color is orange. It is located an inch below your navel. Okay? And this element is water, and it deals with flexibility, it deals with the flow, and how well you're able to adapt. And also, water is an element that bonds to a lot of other elements. So how well do you interact and bond with the people around you? Usually people who are easy to make friends, could go into a room without knowing anybody, could talk and laugh. They have a very strong sacral chakra. But that kid you see in the classroom that's just very distant, sitting to themselves, they have a very unbalanced sacral chakra. That could be because if you weren't receiving any kind of nurturing in your childhood, and not receiving that love, it's going to be hard for you to act that out around other people, to give love. So people like, I don't like hugs, I don't like being touched. They weren't giving that nurturing early in their childhood that allowed them to find that balance. It doesn't mean you're going to be like that way for life, but once you recognize these connections, you can find out which part of myself needs to become rebalanced. Okay, and the gland that this connects to is with your sex organs, your testes or your ovaries. And when you realize if you have impotency or you have some kind of problems in that area, that could be an imbalance inside your sacral chakra as well. Alright, so moving from the sacral chakra, we're going to rise on up to the solar plexus. This is the Minerva chakra as well. And the color is yellow. The location is between your breastbone and your belly button. And this is the element of fire. And this deals with willpower, your drive, the ambition. Someone that's very lazy or lethargic, they have a very weak solar plexus. Someone that has that drive, that ambition, that motivation, the power, that's a very balanced solar plexus. And you don't want to be overbalanced, working 24/7, 365, not having any break, because you're going to burn yourself out. And you don't want to be underbalanced, not working at all, doing nothing, because you're not going to incur any kind of currency for yourself, whether that be material or energy from love and compassion from people around you. And the gland that this connects to is the pancreas. So usually people who are diabetics, who have digestion issues, have an unbalanced solar plexus region. So you can realize, what do I need to fix in that area? If I have these physical elements, if I have the unbalance and the psychological aspects, so you could use to better yourself. So rising on up from the solar plexus, we're rising into the heart area of ourselves. And this is our heart chakra. And they're all important chakras, but this is a very important one, because this is the bridge from your lower self, the man, the beast part of you, into your higher self, the divine aspect of yourself. And if your heart is closed, it's going to be very hard for you to tap into your divinity, the pure spirit of your essence of who you truly are. And that could become, and the key right here is, one thing I'll say is forgiveness, people. I don't care what you've been through. I mean, I do care what you've been through. But no matter what it is that we've gone through, we must find the power to always forgive. And it's not necessarily for the other person, but it's for ourselves. Because if we don't forgive, if we're bitter and we're angry and we're upset about someone else, it's not hurting them as much as it's hurting us. Every morning, every night, I have this pain, this heaviness on my shoulders. We have to learn to let go and to accept those things that we cannot change in our life, because that allows us to feel the compassion. If you don't feel the joy and the love, it's going to be hard for you to feel those emotions if you don't want to feel the pain of what you've been through in your life. It's going to block out the love and the joy within your being at the same time. So learn to have that unconditional love. Learning to have that compassion, that selflessness, you know what I mean? Having that ability to open your heart and have the understanding to see, may not knowing what you've been through, but I can feel the energy that you're throwing at me to have a little bit better interaction between the two. The organ, the element is air. Air expands. Air contracts. It's soft. It's hard. Love can be tough. Love can be hard. It's all connected. And the color is green. And the gland is the thymus, which is what secretes hormones to bring out the white blood cells within your body to heal itself. So if you have an open and loving heart, your thymus is going to be functioning, making you have a strong immune system, allowing you to heal yourself mentally and physically as well. If your heart is not open, you're not going to be secreting those hormones out your thymus anymore. It's going to be the cortisol coming from your adrenal gland, toxifying your body, hurting your body. So you have the choice to control this through your own conscious state of being. And that's something we must recognize to bring the balance back to ourselves. Going from the heart, we go into our throat. The color is sky blue, kind of similar to the shirt you have on yourself over there. And it deals with communication, speaking your truth, speaking honestly, speaking openly. And when you have a blocked throat chakra, you're usually wearing a mask. You're being somebody that's really not yourself. You're walking around acting like a thug, but at heart you're very a soft, loving kid. You know what I'm saying? Or you're acting like one of these latest celebrities on the streets, and you recognize that you haven't found out who you truly are to express that being. The gland is the thyroid, and this deals with the metabolic function of meaning, are you actively moving? Do you have that energy to function and go at a high rate to get things done, or are you very lethargic and lazy, similar to the solar plexus? Okay? And the element is ether. Not the song that Nas rapped about, but this is the ether, the substance where nothing comes from something. And to see how the voice, the expression, going deep down from your root and bringing the words out into manifestation. And that's when you realize that this is the realm where creation comes into reality. And going from the throat, going up into the brow chakra, some call it the third eye, or the ajna chakra. And this is your command center. All the thoughts, ideas, and images you hold up here are brought forth into reality. And when you realize that this is the area that whatever you are thinking is going to trigger how all of the glands in your body function. Because people think your third eye is the pineal gland, but it's actually the pituitary gland. And the pituitary gland is what controls how the other glands in your body release hormones. So if I think a negative thought, it's going to trigger the adrenal glands. Or I think a loving thought, it'll open up my thymus, and etc. Same thing. So it's all depending. If I'm thinking about sex 24/7, it's going to be secreting hormones from that area of my body at the same time too. Realizing where your mind goes, energy's going to flow. And this is why you must be consciously aware of what's taking place inside your brow chakra. That's why what you're reading, what you watch on TV, what kind of music you're playing, because that's all going to fill up your mind about how you know how to function in this world on a regular basis. So the element here is mind. Pretty much it's the imagination. If you have a great imagination, that means you have a pretty good balance third eye chakra. If your mind is always jumping and wandering, you're thinking here for a second, then you're scattered off over here, then you're scattered off over there, that means that your brow chakra needs to have some more balance back to it. And that deals with mindfulness, meditation, to allow you to still and sharpen your mind to have a greater focus and concentration, allowing you to do whatever you do in this world with a lot more clarity, a lot more focus, and a lot more ease. And then the last chakra we have up top here, this is the Sahasrara chakra, and it's also known as the crown chakra. And it's about an inch or two above your head. The color is violet, and this is your connection to your spiritual being. And usually people who have strong crown chakras, they're very spiritual, very religious at the same time too. They have a connection to a higher self, whether it be God, Jehovah, Yahweh, but you see people with spiritual beings. When it's overbalanced, it's those people who are constantly trying to preach their way of life onto you. When it's balanced, it's someone that tries to understand your religion, see where you're coming from, so we can connect and meet and see the similarities of things and all. And then the underbalance would be those folks who have no kind of spiritual connection at all, or no kind of religious connection, and seeing that to have that connection open is one of the most important, because you recognize that it's more to this life than this physical reality. That I am a spiritual being, and I do have a purpose and a reason for being on this earth today. And the goal, you see what they're doing in society today, so many lost souls, people who forgot that they even have a soul because they're living purely for the dollar, purely for the material aspect.